You're facing a wall. A challenge feels, well, insurmountable. What if that wall isn't really an end, but maybe? Maybe it's a door. What if the struggle you're in right now actually holds the key to your biggest growth? Welcome to this deep dive into the power of perspective. Change how you see challenges and find opportunity.
Today, we're going way beyond just, think positive. We're digging into the psychology, the science, and the real-world impact of deliberately shifting how you see things. How you can turn obstacles into, springboards for a healthier, more fulfilling life.
Yeah.
Our mission, to figure out how you can actively reprogram your mind to spot opportunity in every challenge.
It's a pretty amazing human ability, isn't it? At its heart, what we're really talking about is something called cognitive reframing.
Cognitive reframing.
Okay. Basically, it's about first noticing the lens you're using to look at things, situations, experiences, even your own feelings, and then, importantly, consciously choosing to change that lens.
So not ignoring the bad stuff. No, not at all. It's not about pretending everything's rosy. It's a very deliberate process. You challenge your first reaction, your initial take, to find a different, often more empowering reality hidden within the same set of facts.
Okay, so it's not rose-tinted glasses. It's more like finding hidden levers in a situation you thought was just a dead end. What's a common way people mess this up when they first try it? Like, what makes it not work?
That's a really good question. A big mistake is trying to force an overly positive spin that just feels fake. If you're really frustrated about something, just telling yourself, oh, this is wonderful, well, it's probably not going to land.
Right. Your brain calls BS.
Exactly. Your mind knows when you're not being genuine with yourself. So real reframing starts by acknowledging how things actually are, even if it's tough, and then asking, okay, what else could this mean? Or is there any opportunity here, even a tiny one? The shift has to feel believable to you.
Believable. Got it.
And when you make that believable shift, something pretty incredible starts happening inside your brain. This gets us to your brain's superpower, neuroplasticity.
Neuroplasticity. Heard that term a lot.
Right. It means your brain isn't fixed, it's not static, it can literally reshape itself. So when you consciously change your perspective, you're not just having a different thought. You are physically creating new connections, new neural pathways.
Wait, really? Physically? So my thoughts are like carving new trails in my brain. Can you expand on that? How powerful is that beyond just making things feel a bit easier?
Think of your brain like a landscape with paths. The more you walk down a certain path, say a negative thought loop, the deeper that groove gets. It becomes the default.
Okay, the easy route.
Exactly. But when you intentionally choose a different way of looking at it, a reframe, you start carving a new path. And researchers, like folks over at Stanford, they've seen this. People who practice reframing show more activity in their prefrontal cortex.
Which is the brain's CEO, kind of.
Pretty much. It's the command center for flexible thinking, problem solving, emotional regulation, all that good stuff. And every time you choose to reframe, you make that new pathway stronger, more accessible. It's not just a temporary mood boost. You're literally building a more resilient, adaptable brain over time. Makes it easier to spot opportunities next time.
So this isn't just some new self-help fad, this idea of deliberately working with our thoughts. It has deeper roots, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Well, we're talking about it with fancy terms like neuroplasticity now. The core ideas go way back. Think Aaron T. Beck in the 1960s. He was working with patients dealing with depression.
Right, cognitive therapy.
Exactly. He noticed their negative thoughts were often, distorted and just kept feeding the depression. He found that helping them recognize and then consciously shift those patterns could dramatically reduce their symptoms, sometimes even eliminate them. This is groundbreaking stuff. Then you had Albert Ellis, another giant, who developed something similar called cognitive restructuring.
Okay, so reframing and restructuring, are they the same thing, or is there a difference we should know about? Does it change how we might, use these ideas day to day?
Good distinction.
Yes, sir.
Think of cognitive reframing as the broader umbrella term.
Yeah.
It's any conscious or sometimes even subconscious shift in how you view something. Cognitive restructuring, the way Ellis described it, is often a more specific therapeutic process, maybe guided by a professional, tackling really deep-seated, distorted thinking patterns, those negative beliefs that just aren't based on reality.
Okay.
But the key takeaway for you, listening right now, is empowerment. While restructuring might be for those really tough ingrained patterns, reframing is something you can start doing yourself right now with simple techniques. It's the everyday toolkit.
That makes a lot of sense, giving people the tools themselves and this focus on growth, on being able to change and learn. It sounds a lot like Carol Dweck's work on the growth mindset.
It connects perfectly. Absolutely. Carol Dweck's concept of the growth mindset is all about seeing your abilities, your intelligence, your talents, not as fixed things you're just born with.
Like, I'm just not good at math.
Right. Exactly that. That's a fixed mindset. A growth mindset says, no, these are things you can develop, you can learn, improve through effort, through practice, even through messing up sometimes. It's a total contrast to that fixed idea. And for you listening, it means your past doesn't dictate your future potential. Your current skill level isn't some permanent ceiling.
That's huge, but does it really work in practice? Can you give an example? Like, can someone really jump into a whole new field just by believing they can learn?
Oh, definitely. It's not just theory. Think about someone like India Wright. She had a career path in commercial banking, worked as a court clerk, seemed pretty set, right?
Yeah, sounds like a defined path.
But she had this belief, this growth mindset that she could learn new things, and she launched her own PR firm, public relations. She didn't let the fact that her resume didn't scream PR expert stop her. She believed she could acquire the skills, learn on the job, invest in herself. It's a fantastic example of just deciding you can grow into something new.
And that belief, it fuels resilience too, right? That ability to maybe not just bounce back, but bounce forward. I remember reading about Dweck's studies on how our brains react differently to mistakes depending on mindset.
Yes, that brain activity study is fascinating. People with a fixed mindset, when they reviewed their mistakes, their brains showed very little activity. It was almost like they were shutting down, avoiding the discomfort.
Wow.
But the brains of people with the growth mindset, they lit up. Lots of processing activity. They were engaging with the mistake, learning from it. It really shows how a fixed mindset can literally be a barrier to learning, while a growth mindset sees mistakes as well as data, opportunities to get better.
It's like the fixed mindset physically stops you from learning. It reminds me of that story, the toddler climbing the little rock wall. It's such a pure example of that mindset in action. Makes you wonder why we lose it.
Oh, the toddler analogy, yes. It's brilliant because it shows that innate learning drive. The kid keeps trying, stops, looks, sometimes even steps back to figure out the best next move.
Yeah, no fear of looking silly or retreating a bit.
Exactly. No fear of that temporary step back to get a better perspective. We adults, we often feel this pressure to just push forward, right? But sometimes real progress means pausing, reassessing. It's actually very similar to how we can deal with limiting beliefs from childhood. Well, think about coping mechanisms we might have developed as kids. Maybe something kept us safe then, but now it holds us back. Like I worked with a student once who, under stress, would isolate himself completely, replicating something he did as a child. Once he understood why that had served a purpose back then, he could, as an adult, look at it and say, okay, that doesn't serve me now. I can reframe this. I can choose a different way. You examine those old beliefs with your adult brain and pick a healthier path.
Understanding the why gives you the power to change the how. That leads us straight into resilience itself. What exactly is resilience? Is it just grit? Is it something you're born with, or can you build it?
That's the key. It's not just some fixed trait you either have or don't. Resilience is really seen as a dynamic process. It's your ability to withstand stress, sure, but also to adapt to it and then to recuperate from adversity. And crucially, it's something you can absolutely foster and strengthen through your interactions, your environment, and the practices you choose. It's not about never feeling stressed. It's about how you navigate it.
And we saw this play out massively during the pandemic, didn't we? That connection between resilience and just overall well-being.
We really did. There was a powerful study looking at South Africans during COVID-19. Obviously, anxiety and depression levels were high everywhere during that time, huge disruption.
Yeah, understandably.
But even with all that, the study found a significant level of resilience among people. And this resilience was strongly linked to better psychological well-being. It showed how crucial that inner capacity is for navigating huge, unprecedented challenges. It really highlights that even in widespread crisis, we have this immense potential for adaptation.
So what builds it? If it's not just innate toughness, what are the ingredients? What helps someone adapt and even thrive when things get rough?
Research consistently points to a few key things that work together. Cultivating positive emotions is big things like hope. Practicing mindfulness helps you stay grounded. Developing self-efficacy, that's the belief in your own ability to handle things.
Like, I can figure this out.
Exactly. That I got this feeling, coupled with genuine optimism. Having a sense of meaning or purpose in life is also vital. And simple practices like gratitude make a difference. Interestingly, that pandemic study also pointed to spirituality and faith. Higher levels of spiritual well-being, particularly meaning, peace, and faith correlated with higher resilience. These aren't just nice ideas. They're like pillars supporting your ability to cope and adapt.
It really echoes that famous quote from Charles Darwin, doesn't it? It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change.
Precisely. That quote just nails it, doesn't it? It's all about adaptability, flexibility. Whether it's a global event or a personal challenge, the ability to respond to change is key. During the pandemic, people had to change routines, manage new stresses. Those who could adapt, who could find ways to respond flexibly, often fared better. And those internal resources we just talked about, mindfulness, purpose, hope, they often fuel that adaptability.
Okay, this is all incredibly insightful. We understand the why perspective and resilience matter so much. But let's get practical. For everyone listening, the big question is how? How do we actually do this day to day? What are some tools we can use to start shifting perspective, especially when we feel really stuck?
Okay, let's get into the toolkit. One really effective structured practice is something I call notice, shift, rewire. And the beauty is you can weave it into things you're already doing.
Mindfulness in motion. I like that. So break it down for us. How does notice, shift, rewire work?
It's 3 steps, simple but powerful. Step 1 is notice. Just become aware when your mind wanders off or when a negative thought pattern pops up. You just notice it without judging yourself for having the thought. Like you're washing dishes and suddenly you're replaying some critical comment someone made. Just notice, oh, there's that thought again.
Okay, awareness first.
Step 2 is shift. This is the active part. You deliberately redirect your attention. Back to the present moment is great focus on your breath, sounds around you, the feeling of the warm water on your hands while doing dishes. Or shift to something positive, like bringing to mind something you're grateful for, even something small. You're consciously changing the channel in your mind.
Got it. Redirecting.
Step 3 is rewire. This is key for making it stick. You spend maybe 15-20 seconds really savoring the feeling of the shift. Feel the calm of focusing on your breath, or the warmth of gratitude. Let that positive state sink in. This helps strengthen those new neural pathways we talked about, making the positive shift easier next time. You can do this walking upstairs, making coffee, brushing your teeth. Any routine moment becomes practice.
That's fantastic because it makes it accessible. Not another thing to add to the to-do list, but something you weave into the list. What about even quicker shifts? Like in the heat of the moment, you need something super fast. Any 10-second tricks?
Yes, absolutely. There are great rapid resets. One I love is the perspective flip. When you're feeling stuck or overwhelmed by a challenge, just ask yourself quickly, what would my wisest friend see here? Or maybe, how would someone I really admire handle this?
Oh, I like that. Outsourcing the wisdom for a second.
Exactly. It just snaps you out of your own narrow view for a moment, helps you see other possibilities. Another quick one is the growth lens. When something frustrating happens, mentally add the phrase, and that means, to the thought.
How does that work?
So instead of just thinking, this project is taking forever, you think this project is taking forever and that means I'm learning patience, and that means I'm getting really thorough, or maybe I messed up on that report and that means I found something I need to learn more about. It instantly reframes the setback into a learning opportunity.
Those are so simple, but
Yeah,
I can see how they'd immediately change the feeling. And speaking of feelings, especially difficult ones, it seems crucial to be kind to yourself through this process. We hear self-compassion a lot, but what does that actually look like when your inner critic is just screaming at you?
self-compassion is basically treating yourself like you treat a good friend who is going through the same thing, especially when you're struggling.
Easier said than done sometimes.
Oh, for sure. But think about it. When a friend messes up or is having a hard time, you probably wouldn't tear them down, right?
Yeah.
You'd offer understanding, maybe some encouragement. Self-compassion is about directing that same kindness inward. It involves recognizing that struggling, making mistakes, that's just part of being human. It's not some personal failing unique to you. This helps stop that feeling of isolation and replaces the harsh inner critic with a more supportive voice. It's especially important when you feel like you're failing. That's precisely when you need kindness the most, from yourself included.
Treating yourself with empathy, especially when it's tough, that's a powerful idea. Okay, one last tool. For people who like a bit more structure, maybe for untangling a really challenging situation, I know Albert Ellis had that ABC model. Can we simplify that into something practical for everyday reflection?
Yes, absolutely. The ABCDE model is great for systematically breaking down and reframing a reaction. We can simplify it. A is the activating event. Just state the facts. What actually happened? Objectively, like my colleague criticized my presentation. No spin yet.
Okay, just the facts.
B is your belief about the event. What did you immediately tell yourself? What meaning did you give it? I believe this means I'm terrible at presentations and they think I'm incompetent. That's your interpretation.
Right, the story I tell myself.
C is the consequence.
Yeah.
How did that belief make you feel and act? I felt really anxious, discouraged, and now I want to avoid presenting ever again.
The fallout.
D is the crucial step. Dispute. Challenge that belief from step B. Is it really 100% true? Is it helpful? Where's the evidence? What are other more balanced ways to see it? Okay, wait. Does one piece of criticism really mean I'm incompetent? Or maybe it means there's one specific area I can improve. Maybe they were trying to help.
Questioning the automatic thought.
Exactly. And finally, E is the effect. What's the outcome of disputing that belief? What's a new, more helpful belief or narrative? How do your feelings change? What's a more constructive action plan now? Okay, see, this feedback is about improving a specific skill, not about my total worth. I actually feel a bit motivated to learn more. I'll ask for specific examples of what they meant. See how it walks you through analyzing the reaction and choosing a better response.
Yeah, that's a really clear framework, taking it apart piece by piece. Wow. This deep dive has really hammered home that the power isn't necessarily in controlling what happens to us, but mastering how we react and how we choose to see it. By deliberately shifting perspective, building that growth mindset, working on resilience, being kind to ourselves, we really can transform obstacles into, well, genuine opportunities for growth, better mental health, deeper well-being.
That really is the core message, isn't it? It's an active process. You're literally rewiring your brain, building inner strength. It's about moving from feeling like life just happens to you to feeling like you're the one shaping your experience of it.
So as you go about your week, facing whatever challenges come up, maybe ask yourself this. What wall in front of you right now, the one that feels totally solid, could it actually be an unlocked door? Maybe the entrance to your next most remarkable chapter? We really hope you'll give some of these practices a try. It does take practice, conscious effort, no doubt about it. But that profound shift in how you experience your life is worth every bit of it. Thanks for diving deep with us today. Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and keep reframing your world.